this has some scary implications. The San Diego Padres pitching staff might not have Joe Musgrove this year. He is back, and he's throwing a baseball again, and we got to talk about everything that means. But it also means we have to maybe talk about some bad news. What's going on, everybody? I'm Christian Pedersen. Welcome back to another episode of Padres Digest. Thank you very much for checking in. This is part of the show where I try in one breath to introduce the show myself. Say, can you hit the subscribe button, and then go back to talking about some baseball. Let's start with the Joe Musgrove injury update, if you will. This is good news. This is not great news. He is continuing to heal from a major, about as major of a surgery as any pitcher can undergo in their career type injury, but he is back as of 5 days before us recording this video. We wanted to just give it a little bit of time to make sure there wasn't any major setbacks. And it appears as of 5 days of this announcement that he is back to throwing. There is no bad news coming out. There is no setbacks, no issues with the arm. He now needs to ratchet it all the way up from where he is at to major league status. You saw there that he wants to pitch out of the bullpen this year in the postseason, but it's likely that 2026 is when we see him back. I would say two mindsets on that. One being where we are right now, victim of the moment, seeing King getting sidelined, seeing Darvish not returning quickly, seeing the bullpen definitely fall from grace. Like, we are in a need where I'm like, you know what? 88% Joe Musgrove, if they're saying we can toss him out there as a reliever for 7 playoff innings scattered over a couple of series, like, I kind of like just the thought that it comforts me a little, thinking about going forward with there is an arm to come back. So that, like, even if it's not, he's going to start, it's going to fix one of our problems, even if it's really is just symbolically like he would take Alec Jacobs' innings, and I guess actually LOL to that prospect is Alec Jacobs. But this right here is my point, is between these two names going up and down, and this is not a Yuli Gurriel level, like I'm taking a shot at somebody. This is just, if you had to do in a vacuum, just kind of assessing it from 30,000 feet, do you want Omar Cruz, Alec Jacob, or Joe Musgrove? Just based off of name brand, confidence, swagger, team dynamic, all of those kinds of factors, I would say you want Joe Musgrove in that situation. Is 88%, or I'll just say B plus level ready. Like, he's not entirely at his crispest, but is capable of doing a little bit of this. Joe Musgrove actually a benefit to the team? You know, let me know. Jump in the comment section. You could probably, playing devil's advocate, say something like, oh, maybe Shildt goes to him in the wrong situation, thinking that he's there, but he's only really here. And so there's an issue where Joe gives up some runs, and another guy who was fully MLB ready all season, like, could have been dialed, or could have been whatever it is, could have been crisper, could have broken the slider, could have this, that, or the other. Like, I don't want to get too down in the weeds there, but say there is a name brand, like an overestimating of his value there. Okay, maybe there is an issue, but I think that just that mental premise of that checklist, even if Joe, like, say the bullpen by September really dials it all back in, say the Padres make a move, in the trade world, there's been plenty of talk actually about the rest of the team needing to fix the left field situation, needing to fix the hitting situation. There have been a lot of announcements coming out like this one where the Padres are starting to trade for a left fielder, but I do think that in the looking for a trade for a left fielder, you can also talk about getting some bundled deals where you are adding anything from notable arms that are helping offset payroll, Sandy Alcantara from the Marlins type to nobody arms like you've seen with some of these deals that they've done with the Reds where it's cash considerations and a minor leaguer for this other minor. Like one of those ways, I do think that as the Padres trade for a left fielder or an offensive solution, you can also find ways to bolster a pitching and defensive solution. So I would love to see just that mindset of like adding arms. And to me, that's where we're at with Joe Musgrove. Is the decision is either like let him go to 2026 and just let him be around the team, abandon the project. But we're also talking about right now, Darvish, in case you have missed it. This is the latest there. His residual effects from his elbow are still just kind of existing and keeping him amorphously at bay. He is just sort of feeling it out. Like this could mean that we don't see Darvish this year. This could mean we see Darvish in 5 days because he wakes up ready, or this could mean something in between of all that. But when we're already down Darvish, now potentially longer, I want to push for, let's see Joe Musgrove at some point this year, even if it's just for one inning in the September call-up time, just symbolic to be like, look, Joe's back. Look forward to 2026 because I like anything that can help us as a Padres fandom expand our mind beyond like this couple of bad games in Toronto or something like that. And remember that we are ultimately still a pretty stacked and loaded team. To me, that's all the better. But let me know, though, what you think. Is Musgrove even a factor this year? Do you want to see Musgrove versus somebody else in the bullpen? Do you want to see Musgrove try and make a start? Do you want to see Musgrove just really come back next year? I've even seen some people say, like, what are we even getting from Joe Musgrove? So maybe you don't even think that him coming back is all that good because maybe you think he's washed. Let me know in the comment section. Let's talk about it. And as always, if you could hit the subscribe button, it would be much appreciated. Apologies. It's a YouTube thing. I got to do it. Let me know, though, because right now, like I said, we're in a little bit of a lull or a drought or a valley or whatever. Everyone's going to start hitting our moment of zen, our moment of clarity, and just remind ourselves that good things are going to end up happening. But if one of those good things could wind up being the return of Joe Musgrove for the playoffs, I'm all in. But it does have scary implications to think that one of our star pitchers is potentially not coming back for an entire season. So I could use a little positive vibes, guys. Let's hop in the comment section. Let's hit that like button. Let's share. Thank you, everybody, as always, for tuning in. It's going to be an okay 2025 is going to keep on keeping on. It's going to keep getting better. And we thank you for being here every step along the way. Until next time, keep the faith, Padres fans. We will talk to you soon.